I'm Kenneth Witt, and welcome to Gun Dog Nation. Gun Dog Nation is much more than a podcast. It's a movement to build a community of people around the world that like to watch a well-trained dog do what it's bred to do. Also, we want to get our youth involved into the sport of gun dogs, whether it be hunting, sport, or competition. We want to build a community of people united to preserve our gun dog heritage and to be better gun dog owners. Tune in to each weekly episode and learn about training, dog health, wellness, and nutrition. We will also offer tips for hunting with dogs and for competition, hunt tests, field trials, and other dog sports that involve gun dogs. Please go to our website, gundognation.com, and subscribe to our email list. We will keep you informed weekly with podcasts that are coming out. We also will be providing newsletters with training tips and health tips for your dog. You can also go to patreon.com/gundognation and become a member. There's different levels of membership on there. Just go check that out. Also, would like to thank Sean Brock for providing the music for this show, the introduction and the outro. As Sean Brock, he played everything on there except the banjo by Scott Vestal and the dobro by Jerry Douglas. Sean is a neighbor of mine from over in Harlan, Kentucky. I'm just crossing the mountain in Hyden, Kentucky, and he's a super talented guy. But most of all, I want you guys to check out the Creekers. They are also from Hyden, Kentucky, and this is an up-and-coming bluegrass and country band, and these guys are hot. They're all over TikTok and YouTube. You will hear these guys because in a year or so, they will be on the radio. They are very talented. Their videos are going viral on the net. These boys are family. Two of the lead singers, one grew up with my daughters, and the other one is my cousin's son, so he's family. But check them out. Check out the Creekers. Also, last but not least, if you want to buy a hat, koozie, t-shirt, or even gun dog supplies, go to shopgundognation.com and you can purchase any of those items. Thank you so much for listening. It's a privilege to have people that want to put up with me talking about dogs all the time. I actually enjoy what I do, and I'm so glad to have this opportunity, and thank you. Hey, it's Kenneth Witt, and welcome back to the Gun Dog Nation podcast. I'm coming to you today from the ranch in Fort McCavitt, Texas, and I've been chasing this very busy man around for a while, trying to get him on here, and it's a huge pleasure and privilege, not only because of who he is, what he does, but where he's from. You know, I'm from Leslie County, Hyden, Kentucky, and proud. I've been in Texas for a long time, but I spent many years in Manchester, Kentucky, and Clay County, which is the next county over to us, and that's where this young man is from. But anyway, Tim, you're more well known than I am, brother, but let's introduce you. Tell everybody who you are.
Well, I don't know about all that. We still hear Kenneth Witt stories all the time. But, my name's Tim Parks, and I'm from Manchester, Kentucky. I'm the tourism director, the first and only one that's ever been here. Born and raised here, played some college ball over in Pippa-Passes, Kentucky, Alice Lloyd College. First year I went to Georgetown, red-shirted. I was always on academic probation, went back to Alice Lloyd. But, and then managed the Creekers, been with those guys a long time. I know they're fans of the show, fans of you, Kenneth, and I've known Tanner, I always like to say, since he was pooping green, I guess. He was coming up here. I live on the property of what's called the Ponderosa Pines, and he's been doing some picking here since he was a young man, probably 12 years old. Probably met Alan the first time. I don't know. He was probably, he wasn't drinking age, maybe, so. And done a lot of work around the state. I was a music promoter up until today. I'd resigned from all my duties today, actually. And, 1 year I did 17 music festivals across the state and other states. So, at 43 years old and with kids that's active and Creekers going on. And my day job is Manchester Tourism. I was waking up every day just like, felt like I was drinking out of a fire hose. It was time to let something go and not be neglectful to something, especially my family. So, and here I am, man. And it's a privilege and honor anytime I can get on a podcast and speak about Eastern Kentucky and the Creekers or anything involved in that. I appreciate the opportunity.
Tim, I appreciate it. Tell me something. How does one go from being a college basketball player to promoting a Warner Brothers recording act? Because that's first of all, I'm huge fans of you and the band and what you've accomplished already, and you're just getting started. You guys have just hit it. I mean, you've been big in the underground for a while and had a huge following. But Tim, I mean, it's heck. How did it all happen?
Yeah, if you'd have looked at me as a senior in college and said, you're going to have a beard, and I ain't got the long hair anymore, but you're going to promote music just in general. If you'd have said that, I'd have said, well, you're on that good Clay County and Leslie County dope, buddy. You're crazy.
Yeah.
I just always wanted to kind of be a basketball coach, Kenneth, and that's what I did for years. At Knott County Central, Jim Buchanan, 2010, I was 14th Region Coach of the Year over there that year with a small school of 90 high school students, and I still coach elementary basketball. I still coach sixth grade, seventh grade. My son plays, but that's an interesting story, and I tell you how it really got started for me, leading into the Creekers, is when I was working for the highway department. I found out I didn't like teaching. I just, being in that classroom every day is just like losing your record deal or something. I just didn't like it. It was getting harder to discipline kids. You'd send them to detention. Detention was full. The way that me and you got disciplined in school is not the way you discipline anymore. It's a whole different world.
Amen.
So and you got to be careful what you say to them. I wasn't the best at, sometimes I wanted to, just throw them out myself, and you had to be careful. So I was like, this ain't no place for me. Like and to this day, when I walk into a school, and I'm getting better at it, it's like, oh my God, I hate what I see. Not saying that we don't have great teachers. My girlfriend's a great teacher. We got great teachers. It's just the way it used to be and the way it is now. And I used to hear my daddy say that. I'd say, oh, you're just old. Well, maybe we're just old, but it's just so much different than what it was and how we grew up, and so much different structure. You can't even get in the front doors. It's like security and so many rules and red tape. It's just crazy. But I remember going with my friend Kenny Bowling. Kenny was a Manchester Music Fest director for a long time with us. Played in a band called Bourbon Branch, played with Rod Davis music. Actually played bass on the first Creekers recording that was in Tanner's living room, our bedroom, that is no longer available on, but Kenny was the bass player and helped do that. So we go to Somerset to the Moonlight Festival. That was crazy. The Creekers just headlined. It used to not be called the Moonlight Fest. It was called the Harvest Moon Fest.
Yeah.
Down there by the big fountain and all that. And we watched Chris Knight. And we love Chris Knight. Big Chris Knight fans. Yes. All the boys and the Creekers love Chris Knight. And the lady, I think Anna, is a big Chris Knight fan. So I've been able to book him 9 times now. But I remember going there 40 minutes from Manchester saying, dude, why can we not have this? Like, I know the lake's here, but so be it. Like, we're capable of doing this. Yes. We're a wet city. We have restaurants. We've got Pat's Snack Bar that's famous. We've got a tourism board that was brand new. So the first people that ever asked the tourism board for money was me and Kenny and a group of friends that we put together to start Manchester Music Fest. And they looked at and you got to think, at the time I had hair down to it was down to here, man. And Kenny had big long hair, and we both had the beards, and didn't have this in college basketball. I was clean shaved, just didn't even look the same guy. But they awarded us money to do it, and they said, you got 2 weeks to get this together. That's when I became the lowest paid promoter in the United States. And our first year, the fast forward, we had a group called Hillbilly Jed that featured of Alan and Tanner.
Yes.
And I'll tell the backstory of that. But the first year we had Chris and I, Ray Wiley Hubbard, Julie Roberts, and the biggest band was Whiskey Myers that we paid $8,000 for. That's now a $200,000 band.
Yeah.
And it blew up, man. That thing's been crazy. We had Red Clay Strays open for Sunday Best, and I was Sunday Best road guy for a while, and still great friends with them. They opened for Sunday Best at $5,000. But Alan and Tanner, and nobody likes to tell this story, and I love to tell it. Those guys in that band, Hillbilly Jed, were great guys. Like the drummer.
The drummer's my cousin, Doug.
Great guy. Eddie Fee. Great guy.
Grew up with Eddie.
And we were all thinking this was the next band because there was 3 vocalists. Yeah. The lead singer did not like that Alan and Tanner was singing. He wanted to be the main guy. And to me, when you tell Alan Hacker you don't need to sing, it's like telling it's like telling the Pope you don't need Rome, brother. Like you don't need the church. Like he's top 5 in the world at singing at what he does. So they leave that band based on that conflict. And then 2019, I booked Tanner and Allen as a duo because the first year was 18. And so we've had a long history, if you see, but yeah. And so then, moving forward, they kind of didn't do their duo anymore. Allen might play a solo show. Tanner was playing a lot of solo shows, played everything up here at the Pines. He's got a fan base up here. It's crazy. And then I remember seeing this 4-piece at a birthday party opening at the Ponderosa Pines, opening for Coach Chaney and a Nicholas Jamerson at a birthday party, private event, snow on the ground. And everybody like Cole and Nicholas was blown away because they hadn't seen it. And I told them no that day. Shane was like, "You got to do it." Shane, he was just right up Mayor. And I'm like, "Shane, they're not ready to go on any kind of road. Like you've got to be you got to be really ready to be away from family and do this. And you can't be late. You can't leave fans hanging." And they just wasn't there. Some of them may have been, but it wasn't their fault. They didn't know. Right. Yeah. And we're still learning. Then a year later, I seen it somewhere up here at the Pines or whatever. And I said, "Hey, I'm ready, but I need all in." Like, you bought in, and to this day, like you guys have bought in, I need you to stay in. Stay in is the most important part. Buying in's easy. Staying in's hard when things get tough and you're on the road and it's a grind. Sometimes things don't go well. You're tired. That's a long story, and I could go on forever because it's so beautiful, and we're really genuinely friends. I mean, we have real arguments. We was all arguing with Tanner yesterday. Okay, but it's over now. Like it's one of those things where it's like, hey, speak your piece, man, get it out there, and then we'll speak our piece, and then the next day it's over. We just let it go, and that's what friends and relationships do. So here we are now. I knew, Kenneth, when this thing happened, it went viral. The first thing we had to do was booking. And these guys have wanted to call 100 meetings before. And I never would let them have a meeting. Because if it was the case, we'd be meeting about everything. Even in tourism, even in the city of Manchester, City High, people meet too friggin' much. I mean, man, I was going to so many meetings when I first got in this job. It's like, and you're like, why am I here? It's the same stuff over and over and over and over. If you need a meeting, you need to have a meeting when it's very important. Yes. So the first meeting we ever had was about booking, and Tanner knew a little bit about it, and Anna definitely knew. She's a road dog, but no, I don't think anybody else. I was like, "All right, do y'all understand what a booking agent does?" They're like, "Shit, I don't know." And so I said, "This is important. These are the people that make you. I cannot put you in Missouri. I can't put you in Texas. I can get you a lot of good shows in Kentucky with my connections for a year or two, but it's over. These are the guys that has the connection." So we had for about 2 weeks interviewing CAA, Wasserman, WME that we ended up with, all the major ones. And we love WME because they had a strategic plan. Our agent, Cannon, is unbelievable. I mean, absolutely unbelievable. He's got the Red Clay Strays that I just mentioned. He's got Brent Cobb that I just had at the festival this year. He's got the Creekers. He strategically put a plan in front of us where everybody else was great, and I knew they were great because I'd worked with these people. I knew these people from booking shows, but they got caught up in the accents and like, oh, we can have a Netflix series, or they just started because the boys are funny. They walk in a room, they own the room, and so they got caught up in like the charm of the Creekers charm, but the Creekers are also smart. Even though it might come off as a bunch of hillbilly stuff, they're also very intelligent people, and they understood that this plan was the best for them. Yes. And nobody else really laid out that plan that Cannon and WME did. So that's where we went. 4 months later, we Warner Records after we interview everybody. And the greatest story on this one, and I could go on because this has been a process. One of these days I'm going to write all this down, but
you need to.
Here's RCA, here's Sony, here's Capitol, Columbia. Oh my God. I mean, just everyone you can think of. And we're doing all these Zoom calls, and some of them don't understand the voice at all. Like they don't understand the accent. So if you hear my accent, I was the damn translator. It's funny to think about. So I don't remember who we were on the phone with. It may have been Alamo. Tanner trying to explain that that Jagger and Jagger's wife. I guess I don't know. I can't remember. No, that Jagger and Ashton's cousin was Bree. That's married to Allen. And he said, well, it ended up that Alan just ended up marrying his cousin. But he said, and he said it wrong, but we all knew what he meant.
Yeah.
And then this dude from Alamo, like his eyes got big as backhoe tires. And he's like, "Oh, you guys are a real family, right?" And I was like, "Oh, no." But
That was
then
a
I was
Jerry
like,
Lee Lewis deal.
"Yeah, man." So I'm like, "Guys, do you want to have a translator in a room with these big companies because they're from Los Angeles? They're not speaking your language." Here comes a lady named Kelly Bolton that Christopher Bentley with Sunday Best put us. She wasn't the first Warner meet. Jake Kenny, which is one of our A&Rs, had given me a call, but we didn't have a great first meeting with Warner. And then Kelly come into this picture. Thank God for Christopher. He's a great friend of mine. And Tates Creek High School, Lexington based. Her husband's from Pikeville. Her grandparents are buried in East Bernstadt. Okay, now we're getting somewhere, right? I mean, it's the only female that we've talked to, and then Anna felt comfortable, like she got another female involved. We felt comfortable with Jake. They kept coming here to Manchester. They've just had Warner people here for a photo shoot. I don't even tell my town when these people come in because I don't want them aggravated. So, but they're staying in these Airbnbs and they're eating here and they're drinking at Pat's. Like it's helping the economy. Nobody nobody knows it. So we felt comfortable with that with Kelly. And then the main boss calls me up one morning. She's like, "Here's the deal. If you cancel," because we had some deals in front of us, we didn't like any of them. And she said, "If you cancel all your appointments this coming weekend, is going to Manchester Music Hall with Sunday Best." She said, "Here's the offer." But she said, "Here's the offer, but it just stands only if you cancel the appointments by the weekend." And it was a lot better offer than anybody had made us at that point. So I call her lawyer, named Scott Stafford from Bowling Green, another Kentucky guy. We made sure to do that. And I'm like, "Scott, what's this?" He's like, "It's a hell of an offer. Let me get it even better." He said, "Because you got leverage right now. We got to get this offer to here." And the rest is history. He said, "Tim, if you can do it, you better do it." Now, the hard part was I had to call all these agents, all these people. I called them by phone, the people that courted us, and I said, "Look, I think this is the manly thing to do. We're going to go a different direction. Thank you for all the free beer and steak that you fed us. We've enjoyed it. We've enjoyed your company. This is how we feel we can move forward the best way." And we ended up the next week with a business manager that also represents Chris Stapleton, and he's the Kentucky guy. So we have this strong Kentucky clientele all around us that understands Clay County Hyden, a little bit more than Los Angeles does. And I'm proud of that. Like, I'm proud to keep that, outside of Cannon, which there ain't any Kentucky agents that I know of. So, yeah, man, I said a lot to say a little, that we are blessed to have the team. We have a real legit team behind us.
Hello, this is Kenneth Witt with Gundog Nation. Many people quickly become frustrated and confused when training a retriever. Cornerstone Gundog Academy's online courses eliminate all the guesswork by giving you a proven training system that will help you train a dog that anyone will be proud to have in their blind. Learn where to start, what to do next, and what to do when problems arise. Visit cornerstonegundogacademy.com to learn how you can train your retriever. I have used this method myself. I have been through it a couple times with different dogs. I refer back to it lots of times when I'm trying to get dogs freshened back up for hunt test season. I highly recommend them. I have actually been a subscribed member of Cornerstone Gundog Academy since 2016, and I would suggest anyone use it. I highly recommend it. They have an app that you can get to on your phone. You can do it from your phone, your laptop. You can't get any more convenient than that. I've used it. It's proven and tried. And I know literally hundreds of people that have done the same thing that I've talked to. Visit cornerstonegundogacademy.com and learn how to train your own retriever. Hello, this is Kenneth Witt, and Gundog Nation is proud to have one of their sponsors as Retriever Training Supply, based in Alabama. Retriever Training Supply offers fast shipping on quality gear. Your dog will love it. Visit retrievertrainingsupply.com to purchase gear to help you train your retriever. Listen, they have some of the best leashes I've ever found. It's stuff's made in America. Their leashes are, and they source them locally. They have anything you want, fast, friendly service, fast shipping, just good people. Retriever Training Supply. Well, Tim, it sounds like everything just fell into place and you are right where you should be. And it's already showing. I've seen these shows that's set up for 26 that you've got. It's amazing. I'll say this, and I'm gonna let you talk because that's what I've got you here for. But I had Anna on here, and I was telling her this, Tim. I've known people in the business and stuff, and grown up around it my whole life, and I've never seen anybody make it as fast as you all have. And I can give you examples. Billy Carrington lived with my brothers. Tyler Farr stayed with my brothers. And I know how long it took them. And honestly, the Creekers haven't been a unit for that long. And what you all have done is my dad was a musician, all that. I mean, I've been around it my whole life. I've never seen anything except for those who've been on The Voice or America's Got Talent or whatever, those shows where they're overnight kind of success. But you guys, what you've done is just unbelievable. It's unprecedented in my history as a 57-year-old man that grew up around music. It's impressive.
Yeah. I mean, I've never really thought about that, until you said it. And I know things are moving quick. I think about that every day to protect the boys. So my job is to, number one, protect them, but number two, also be real with them and say, you got obligations here.
You're a school teacher again, Tim.
It's the worst. Yeah, it's the worst. And sometimes because you got to say, hey, I know you probably may not want to do this show, but majority voted that you have to do this show. Or I know that it might be rifle season, but you got this show and it's for a lot of money and everybody else needs to eat. Everybody else has got kids. So, it ain't just one person, and it's the whole band. It's like Ashton and Jagger quit their jobs. That was nice jobs to pursue this. Scott had to let go of a lot of stuff to pursue this. Anna had to let go of a lot of things to pursue this. Yes. Eventually, maybe I have to let go of things I already have, I guess, to pursue this.
Yes.
So if we're all going to be, like I said, if we're all going to buy in, we got to stay in and do it because fans and promoters pay good money to see you. And let's make the right decisions and do the right things. And it's an educational thing. Like it's these guys have not been on the road like that, Kenneth, yes. And they're about to get it. And I can't say that I ain't worried because it can be. Man, I know a national act right now. And I ain't gonna say a name. And her buddy messaged me last night. And he's like, she's got problems again. She's back to this, and this, and they wore her out. Man, I'm like, look, everybody has the right to say no. Let's take some time off. But yeah, as far as going quickly. Man, it's. I think it's the TikTok thing, right? I mean, it's a different world again than we grew up. You had to pay your dues. If you got to play in Nashville, you still don't make no money down there. But like you would get to play in Nashville, and it was a big deal because people saw you. Well, now you can be on TikTok, and it's a good thing and it's a bad thing because you can be on there and get 1 million views, sitting in your underwear eating Cheetos, singing Hank Jr. song. And I've put those guys on stage before that the mayor or somebody from a town's like, hey, we got to get this boy. He's got a bunch of views. And, man, they brought a band up there, and they sounded terrible. The difference in the Creekers is they are top-notch, first-class musicians. They've been doing this for years and years as boys. They have one of the top vocalists in the world. And then you add Tanner's vocals in on it that is more of the bluegrass and folky and the storytelling stuff. It's just it's unheralded to be that great of musicians, that great of storytellers, and then have a singer that sounds like that. And Tanner will rip a guitar solo off. Anna's ripping off a fiddle solo. Scott's ripping off a banjo. Jagger's singing like those 4-piece harmonies in that tenor harmony. Like Jagger is the forgotten man of the band. That if you don't have those harmonies, man, what do you do? Like if he gets sick, it don't sound the same because you don't have his harmonies. And then Ashton, I would rival him with like Christopher Bentley as the premier box cajon players in this whole area, or maybe in the world. I don't know. And that was his hero, was the guy that he got to play together now. And he buys the cajons off Christopher's brother. That's handmade. Man, I don't know. I think the TikTok thing, and here's another thing. The strings is coming back. It's one of those things that's like everything's a circle in life. I mean, eventually we'll be wearing corduroy breeches again, unfortunately, I guess. But you had like Tony Rice, and people at the time, some people didn't like Tony Rice, like he's too modern or whatever. But then they loved him. Now he's known as the best flat picker in the world. Then it kind of hit a little. Then you had, oh brother, where art thou? Right? Yeah. Boom! It boomed. It brought it back up. Then you had like. Little dead period. Then you have a guy named Billy Strings, and then it's like it's like rising again. So I think we're at the right time. They had a great song that went viral. That was a trend that all the young ladies did the outfit of the day. We were blessed to have that. They're great musicians. And they are even different than Billy. Like Billy's shows are and I love Billy Strings, we all do, but he's a celebration of instruments.
Yeah.
Like it's unbelievable how good those, and it's kind of got this Grateful Dead vibe in the string world.
Yeah.
Or
Allman
the Creekers,
Brothers.
the jam guys type deal. Yeah. The Creekers are like family things. Like, dude, there's kids loving this stuff. There's like African Americans loving this stuff. There's Mexican people loving this stuff. There's all the white people loving it. Like it is hitting every pocket of every dynamic in the world, and like old folks, young folks, college age folks, people mine your age. Like it is hitting like this mainstream pocket, and I feel like Ricky Skaggs was the first to really do the mainstream switch over, and I feel like we're going to see it with him.
That's a great comparison, Tim. I see that. I remember we lived in Lexington. My dad was playing music in Lexington when Ricky Skaggs did cross over. Mm-hmm. One night he went from playing the Holiday Inn, J.D. Crowe, and the next night he was, in Nashville. And so was Keith Whitley. And I was living there as a kid at that time and going to watch him play with my dad. But you're exactly right. I think that's a great analogy.
Yeah, I mean, I just seen on my screen it popped up the Dale Fest announcement today. So when we get off here, but here's the crazy thing: we just left. It's sitting here on my kitchen table. We just left the Luke Combs Bonfire or Bootleggers Bonfire Fan Club party. So Luke Combs, he's on the radio. Like he's the ultimate radio. Like he's the big dog, right? And then we get down there and they're like, his band's like, dude, we've had to listen to River Rat like 2 straight hours. He's wore us out with it. He loves it. And there's some more stuff coming with that. Just stay tuned. But so Luke Combs was an actual fan. That's why we get the invite. We meet his management. We meet all his team. We meet his band. Like it's amazing. And then I'm like, there's potential to do Luke Combs shows here. Then you get Dale Fest and there might be some potential with Travis McCurry's. I've got to email him back, but that's a bluegrass band, right? It's like you can do both ends of it. And then there's going to be people hate, just like when you sign with the label. They're like, oh, you sold out. Well, look, if all these guys sold out that's millionaires, we're going to sell out. Just go ahead and say CM Parks on the record has sold out. Kiss my ass. We've sold out.
Sign me up.
Sign me up, man. Yeah. So, I feel like that crossover stuff's coming. It's like they're playing them on the bluegrass station, and also you're hearing them some Main Street stations now. We don't hate that because a lot of us hasn't liked a lot of mainstream music, and we want to be the people that change what mainstream music is.
Yes.
Put us on there. We're going to change how you look at we play our own instruments. We don't have click tracks. We do it the right way. And that's something I'll help the boys do. Like, I'm that guy that whatever they want to hit, if you want to change mainstream, I'm calling our label and saying, my guy, we want to change mainstream. Yeah. How do we do it? And Anna Blanton made that statement to Warner when Alan said, I'll never forget it. And Alan said, we're just not mainstream guys, and Kelly Bolton said, Alan, do you guys want to play stadiums? Kelly's from Warner, and everybody's like, oh yeah. She said, if you're playing stadiums, you're mainstream, buddy.
That's right.
And then we all just looked at each other and said, well, it'll just be mainstream then because we want to play stadiums.
And, Tim, probably I'm way older than you, but Newgrass Revival did that.
Yeah, man.
They crossed and hit the mainstream country.
Yeah.
And we're pure straight up bluegrass, man. We're all bluegrass guys. So,
yeah. I mean, and there's a million bands now that's doing it. I booked them, Brothers Comatose, Hog Slop String Band's about to open for us. It's like that's been some of my boys for years. And when I tell Tanner and them, like, hey, they're opening for us in Georgia and North Carolina, along with another band called the Bank Shafts that was down at the Luke Combs thing. It's like they're opening for us. Like they were like Gabriel Kelly, Kevin Martin. That group to us is the ultimate string band. And to know we're going to get to be on the road with them and they're open, it don't even feel right. Like we feel like the roles should be reversed. Or we talk about Chris Knight that it's all of our heroes. And I know how much money some of these people make. And to know how much money sometimes we're getting compared to what they're getting. And it's like, this don't even seem real. Like these are our heroes, and so all I ask the guys to do is like, hey, let's just work hard. Let's be humble. It takes me a minute to wake up in the morning and get these calls and pinch and say, okay, well, this is real. Um, go do your job, and all of us knows that we're blessed, and we all are thankful, and I think we will always be blessed and thankful. Hey, if it ends tomorrow, we're blessed and thankful. My kids will get to see videos of me on stage with one of the hottest bands in the world, and backstage footage. Like who gets to do that in life? Not many. So we understand the assignment. We're going to do the best we can for our fans and our family to carry out that assignment.
Tim, something that I love about it so much, and so me being away from home for 13 years here, 2 years in Pennsylvania, so 15 years. During that period of 15 years, I lived back in Leslie County in 2016 and 17. But anyway, and I still have banjo in the house, and I still mess around. But I'm proud of where I'm from. But my point is, instead of me rambling on and on, is I'm out here in West Texas. I've got a huge, a lot of friends and stuff, and where I hunt all over the country. People don't understand our culture, and some of my best friends are from Louisiana, and they're Cajuns, and there's a word for that they call coon. I ask, we won't,
yeah.
but they're a subculture too, and I've got some of my best buddies are from Louisiana, and I worked with them. So, but anyway, I think it's so cool that the Creekers and you are introducing the world to Appalachia, to our culture, the way we talk, the way we live. I'm proud of it, and you guys are doing it through music. Hello, this is Kenneth Witt with Gundog Nation, and I've got to tell you guys about something that I've gotten hooked on lately. It's Pho-licious. These are gourmet instant pho and ramen bowls that actually taste like the real deal. When I'm out in the field all day and the last thing I want is to settle for bland camp food, Pho-licious is what I go to. It's authentic, the flavor, it's real ingredients, it's ready in just minutes. It's perfect for hunters, fishermen, or anyone on the go. And you can get them over 1,900 Walmarts nationwide, your local HEB here in Texas. Or you can just go online at pholicious.com. Trust me, once you try it, you'll keep a few stocked in your bag, in your backpack, or for your next adventure. I just want to say this, I want to add this to this commercial, because I know the owners of this company. They've hunted on my ranch. Joseph, he and I were actually met in Colorado on a hunting trip that was a real adventure. They are true hunters. They've hunted at the ranch, and I've hunted with them. And Anna, she is just amazing. She is the one that came up with this idea. They were both on Shark Tank. They are amazing people. So I love seeing people like this have a business. And I just had to say that in addition to the commercial, because I really believe in the product and I believe in the people that made the product. Be sure and go to pholicious.com or go to Walmart or HEB and try their product. I promise you, you will like it.
Yeah, man, you mentioned that Cajun thing, and I've used this analogy speaking to crowds. Real hillbillies like us, right? I'll always tell people, the state one time offered me a job to travel and like speak in international travel to be a real hillbilly. The beard, the hair, the accent. And I was like, I'm not a wrestler. I don't play a part, but I love that we're in this pocket. We're in a pocket. From here, there's not a lot of difference in somebody sitting on a couch in Manchester and Hyden or Floyd County today. There's not a lot of difference in those folks.
No, sir. But
if somebody's on a couch in Bardstown or Lexington or Louisville, there's a little difference. Yeah. Because we're in that Eastern Kentucky pocket that unless you're in it, you don't understand it. Your buddies that's Cajuns, everybody like swamp people brought on to that culture, that pocket. Everybody in Louisiana don't say shoot them. You know that's just a pocket of those people in that one area, and it's really beautiful that those subcultures, as you said, still exist. And man, we are. Let's not sugarcoat it. We're a impoverished area. Everybody, a lot of people's on government funding, and we rely on that government a lot. But as the years are progressing, things are getting, because we relied on coal so much, and then the coal's gone, and everybody looks around and says, "Oh, now what do we do?" And we're like, "All right, it's tourism." It's the music. It's the arts.
Yeah.
And that's really carried Eastern Kentucky in the last few years. It ain't been no super politician that had the right ideas. It's been your tourism people that's gotten on the ground, ended up putting a tax in, saying, we're going to bring this to our town. Dude, we turn in the Creekers this year, Manchester Music Fest, in a town of 1,200 people, had about 4,600 people down there on Friday night.
Something else.
So start thinking about your economic impact for a weekend of that many people, of probably 7,000 to 10,000 people in a town. Everybody's eating, man. Everybody's eating. Our economic development's blooming. And Pat's Snack Bar can stay open 6 months because of what they make from that show alone. So I'm proud of that. But like these other towns need to see that.
Yeah.
And everybody worries about if there's alcohol in the street. Dude, we did over $10,000 in profit of alcohol this year. If you're going to go to a Creeker show in the future, you're going to see an alcohol sale. Yeah. It's just something we have. And I told you before we started, I still think I've got wanted posters in every Pentecostal church over here because we sell beer out in the streets. It's a common thing that our people are not accustomed to because they're like, we can do it anywhere else but Clay County or Leslie County. Or sometimes Floyd County, they're getting a little better. Like it's for people like me and you and the other tourism people to educate people on what we have and be proud of your accent. Be proud. Here's the thing: we talk like this. We're educated folks. I've got a double major and a double minor. It don't mean we're dumb. We have an accent. There's people from England that's smart that's got an accent. Don't mean they're any smarter than us. And I think the whole wholesome, authenticity of the Creekers is another thing like that sells them to the public. The Tanner Horton ain't never going to change, right?
No.
I mean, you get one of the bigger deals Warner can give out, and you go buy a herd of sheep and a damn donkey.
Yeah.
Like you ain't changing that guy, right?
No,
That's going to be the guy that he is. Most, and Alan Hacker, you ain't changing him. Like now, Alan's, he don't do the same stuff Tanner does, but Alan's family based. Very, mild mannered, keeps to himself, just sticks around the house,
Yeah.
Ashton Jagger, he ain't changed them. Anna, she's been there, done that. Like Scott, Scott's always going to be Scott. He's going to tell jokes.
Yeah.
He's going to make funnies.
Tim, I just thought you made me think of something, man. It kind of helped you and I know this, but to help people that's listening to hear, because I've got listeners in 54 countries, and so you and I are from the Appalachian Mountains of Eastern Kentucky, but you can go 110 miles. When I was a freshman at the University of Kentucky, I was in the dorm. Matter of fact, I lived in the dorm. Same dorm at Judge Alan Roberts from Clay County lived in that dorm with us, and there's another boy from Clay County, Robbie. He's an architect. It'll hit me in a minute. But anyway, and then me and my roommates from Leslie County, and I told them boys in the dorm, on the floor, I said, "Hey boys, I'm gonna go downstairs and get a pack of nabs." They went, "What?" And I said, "I'm gonna get a pack of nabs." They didn't know what I was talking about. Tim, I'm in Kentucky, my home state, and they don't. Yeah. And I had to explain to them what nabs were, and they went, "How do come you call them nabs?" And I had to think about that. Yeah. And then I realized that back home in the machine, it was by Nabisco. So hillbillies, we called them nabs. And then again in my home state, I was at law school up in Northern Kentucky, and I told them on Sunday at the house, I'm gonna fix some soup beans. Y'all come over, and they went, "This is my home state. Soup beans."
Right.
You mean like bean soup? No. So I finally explained pinto beans, but it's a subculture, right?
It is.
We say things that people in our own state don't understand. And when I finally left Kentucky, I went to Pennsylvania, worked for Shell Oil. True story. Went through the drive-through at Starbucks. Well, I'd never been in they don't have Starbucks nowhere back then. There's one in London now, but they went to Starbucks in 2 hours from Hyden. So I left Hyden, Kentucky, went to Pennsylvania, worked for Shell Oil, just about 30 miles out of Pittsburgh. Tim, I swear to gosh, I'm telling you the truth. For the first 4 days, on Monday morning, I was driving to work. I thought, I'm going to stop and get some coffee. It's right by where I lived. I was in the drive-through machine, and they couldn't understand me. And now I've had to change my accents, softened a whole lot because I had to. People couldn't understand what I was saying. So finally, they couldn't understand me. Maybe come to the window. This one on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and on Thursday, I come through again. I'm at the drive-through, same place, and I'm trying to order through the drive-through speaker, and I could hear them. Hey, y'all, it's Ken. It's Ken. Come here, listen. And I said, hey, y'all, I hear you in there. Y'all know what I'm ordering. I said, y'all just messing with me. And they dying laughing. And I pull around. But, it's just, and like I said, I've lost a lot because I've honestly, I had to speak where I got tired of
Yeah, but
people.
you still understand it. Like, and
Yeah.
here's the thing. Like, if you want to meet, if you really want to dig into it, Jake Kenny with Warner got he was at the Osborne Brothers Festival. We had our big crowd here from the Pines, and there was an older guy talking to him. He come over to me and said, Tim, I don't know anything he just said. We've talked for 20 minutes. I said, yeah, I can get that. But if you want to meet some of the older folks, and especially if they get to drinking, when a hillbilly gets to drinking and gets to talking, buddy, because I've done it at some of these conferences. I had a girl from Kentucky Lake one time translated me in a hotel room to some girls from Bardstown that was on like the Chamber of Commerce or something. They're like, yeah. And I'm like, y'all can't really understand me. And I didn't care at that time. I'd been drinking, but I was like, it's funny that you understand my language. We've been together like as partners, not partners, but like business partners, and we'd worked together where she'd been around me enough. But you go to my mother's house, and you're from Chicago or LA, and you ain't going. Because first thing the old ladies will do is say, "Hey, are you hungry?" Me make you something to eat, but that don't really mean are you hungry.
Yeah.
Like that means sit down here for a while and let's talk. Yeah. And if they do make you something to eat, you better eat something.
Yes, sir.
Or mama watching McCall all the time. Now everybody watching McCall's house, and I don't have a clue. And I'll be like, yeah, but sometimes I do know what she's talking about. And you just have all these old sayings, man. And Tanner uses those. Yeah. All the boys, and we don't realize it, but it's something to be proud of because they're not teaching that anymore. My brother moved out of here, has been out of here forever, military guy. His accent, you'd think he's from somewhere else now. But when he comes in for a couple of days, you can hear him trying to get that thing back.
Yeah, yeah.
And I understand why he had to change it, but man, we're proud of it. And like the Creekers are proud of it. We've got a show Wednesday at the CMA luncheon. Right before Gavin Adcock, we're playing at Warner Music. And all the big wigs are going to be there. Well, them guys and me, we're going to be the same guys we always are, Yeah. They're going to wear overalls, and I'm going to have on some kind of shirt like this and a pair of long breeches, probably, because it'd be cold. But, it's staying to who you are, cherishing where you're from, understanding where you're from, right? It's like some people get too big to be where they're from, and they want to be somebody else or from somewhere else. Man, we can't change who our family is, where we was raised, how much money we had, and it's a great story. Like, and it's I could get emotional, but I'm not going to on this podcast. To think about the money that's capable of being made from where I know where everybody's from, and having $0, like worry that your card's going to get declined at Hardee's at breakfast in the morning. Yeah. That type of money. To not having to worry about that anymore. Yeah. That's a big deal. Yeah. It's a big deal. Like it's like. You can buy your kid nice school clothes, man. You can always have fuel to get up and down the road. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to bum it. You don't have to go to the bank and get a loan because you're down and out. Like, that's all I want for them. And that's all they want for themselves. They don't want to be like rich superstars. They want to take care of their family, take care of their kids, and take care of each other. And I always say, if we continue to do that and keep that the main thing, we will all be able to take care of each other and our families. Yes. And that is, I think, what God sets us out here to do. If we're brave enough to have a family and have kids, we are to take care of those kids the best we can. Now, it may mean you got to be gone for a couple weekends. So be it. They're going to see the rewards from Daddy being gone down the road. Because you're making some money and you're doing it for them. It ain't when you have kids, it ain't about you anymore. That's right. The band ain't ever about me. It ain't about Warner. It ain't about the booking agent. It's about how do we make these guys mega stars, and we sit behind and smile, dude. When they play the Opry, if they get to play the Opry, you'll have to pick me up out of the floor.
Oh man,
like that. That's how much I love and care. And I'll say this: when we did our Opry intro, Kelly Bowden from Warner was in there with us. And I didn't know it till later. She was sobbing. Like, it meant that much to her in this short amount of time. Like, it's just unbelievable that she's took that. It's just like she's her sister or her aunt or something, or her music mom. And then when I looked at her crying, I was like, holy shit, man, this is real. Like, this means something to these people.
Yeah. You don't see that this day and age in the business world. Hey, it's Kenneth Whip, the Gun Dog Nation podcast, and I'm very proud to have as a new sponsor Cable Gangs. That's spelled Gangz. Brendan Landry at Cable Gangs has developed, in my opinion, and I'm a customer, the best tie-out systems on the market. They're easy to pack, easy to store. They can coil up just like an extension cord. They use premium galvanized steel cable coated with durable UV-resistant PVC coating. Brendan can make custom products, anything you want that's related to a dog tie-out system or a cable system or a way to safely secure your dog. They've even made a system that works with a bicycle so you can go and exercise your bicycles and have your dog running along with you. It would be impossible for me to describe to you all the different custom applications they have, so just go to their website at cablegangs.com and check it out. But also, they make dog tie-outs, a way to safely secure your dog if you're at a field trial, a hunt test, coonhound competition, whatever that might be, beagles. These guys make the best product.
Right. Yeah, and I'll say this though, like you know, you've got family in Nashville, and you go into Nashville when you don't know about Nashville, and you think, man, it's a big town, the buildings and the lights, and it ain't New York, but it ain't Manchester High neither. Right. And then you finally get in there where you're working, you have to be in Nashville a little bit, and you realize, man, there's a little circle here. It's like a little family. It's like a little close knit thing. And I'm just now figuring that out. Like, you go there and it's so big, but it's also so small. Yeah. Because the people that's really in the industry that has the good intentions, that's who comes to the forefront with you. Yeah. The ones that's kind of shady, they'll be left out in the big city. But it's cool. It's cool dynamic I never knew till now.
Yeah, and y'all have earned your place there, and deservedly so, and y'all gonna fit in real good. And I love that. I really don't ever see you or any of the band members changing your accent or changing the way you live, or being something that you ain't.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think, man. You know this more than anybody. It's just impossible to do that from where we're from. Yeah. I mean, I know people has, and I've really died on that hill to say, hey, let's be proud of how we speak, of what we eat. Because when you say culture, that finds everything around you. Yeah. And the food we eat is a whole nother thing. Like making people from Australia before chicken and dumplings, the homemade kind, and they're like, oh my God, what is, or just deer meat, just fried deer meat and onions, It's like, and I tell people, we fry a lot of stuff, and we drink, there are people here drink, I went forever without having a soda, probably 12 years. And it was just, my little girl would say, Daddy, you drink coffee and beer. And I'd say, well, you can throw water in there. And I have changed some in that, like, I had a Coke Zero last year because we was on the road somewhere, and I said, I need something besides water. I couldn't drink beer. And I was like, man, that's good stuff, And then I've got to where I've got a huge bourbon collection in here. I ain't going to show the kitchen because it's a chance to kill me, but I'm actually having to build another little building to put it in. But the one I want to do this today, the one that's new, this is one of the first edition bottles out of the first barrel, actually, is right here in my hometown. And if you know how rare a distillery is in Eastern Kentucky town. Yeah. And this thing's cool, Kenneth. Like, it's even got a working bee on the bottom. I probably got it upside down. See that little bee? The bee was the first original Clay County logo. It goes all the way back into England and a lot of history. But this bottle, if you look, you can tell it's got those are handwritten in the middle. So that one says 750 milliliters, then the 100.1 proof, and the 500.5 alcohol by volume. Those guys wrote those by hand. So I've got one of the first ever, and their grand opening Saturday. And I don't want to segue from the Creekers because a couple of them's going to be there, actually. Ashton and Jagger actually live in went to Redbird School, which is right there in Clay County. The mountains are growing. And to get a distillery here around the hillbillies, and you can imagine at first when we knew this was coming, they was like, oh, my God, man, that's all we need, some alcohol. And now that they've brought jobs, and now that they've brought opportunities, they have cleaned their town up and took the old buildings and made them nice. Yeah. Now everybody's has the same word as bought in.
Well, Tim, just a point of history, Clay County is one of the original, I think, 2 counties of Kentucky.
It is.
I think there was 2 counties originally in Kentucky. If I'm not, I had Kentucky history at University of Kentucky. I think I'm right.
But I had that too a million years ago.
Yeah.
But it is, and we had one of the biggest feuds. The Hatfield McCoy feud ain't nothing compared to the Baker White feud. That was 100. They would wait till somebody was getting buried and ambush a place and kill them all. It's like it's just hard to tell those stories in tourism because everybody don't want to hear about that. Fighting and feuding and then what story's real now at this point, and I just had to give that a plug because
I like it. I love it.
They've worked so hard to come here, and it ain't just going to help Clay County. It's going to help people like Hyden. Dude, I would have never thought I'd see Hyden go wet.
Me either.
Tanner's got a song about it. Tanner in Hyden, Kentucky, he talks about it. The best thing since '95. What a time to be alive.
Yeah.
We just got our first liquor store. That's a hell of a line when you live in a place and you can't even buy beer and you got to go to Hazard. And we had to go to Hazard or Richmond, which is even further to Hazard than it is from Hyden. So it's like, man, and we go to the city or we go somewhere on vacation when it's right next door. And we're like, what's wrong with us? Why can't we benefit? Why can't we make money from this? And now people smarten it up.
Yeah.
And really, a lot of old school politics held that back. And that's the cool thing about the boys. And that's the cool thing about Warner. We have a publicist now. Works for Warner. His name's Fout Lynch. I'm going to call him out by name. This dude is the best. There's been a lot of things sent in. People want to do podcasts, right? And at first, they really protected them. And then they said, hey, if you want to do these, Tim and you talk about it, do them. They're not going to let you do any of these politics because these people try to trap you and put you in and I'm like, man, that ain't what we do. We have fun. I don't know if we've ever had a political talk ever. Like we have fun together. We enjoy our families together when we're out by ourselves together. I remember going to a casino there in Bristol, Tennessee with all the guys. It was just Anna and went home. It was all of us: Tanner, Jagger, Ashton, Shane, and Alan. And I was playing, what the hell was I playing? I was playing roulette. And man, started winning a bunch of money. And then like Alan's like, man, I want to play. And I'm like, you're going to play roulette? Because this just ain't something he does. And then like we left that casino, man, just laughing, so happy. And I was like, this is what it's about. There's going to be rough times, but like, it's just, this is a cool thing. This is what it's about. So yeah, I think more of those good times are coming, man. And like it's a culture shock. We're going to see a lot of new places. I always tell the guys, hey, this is the experiences that you're going to live for now. Live for the money, live for the experiences, live to take care of your family. It is, and I know that all those experiences ain't like, man, me being with Sunday Best. I remember like just traveling sometimes 4 or 5 hours, and people think you see a lot. Really, you're going 5-6 hours driving that morning to the next room or show, sound checking, going to eat, going back to the show, then going to bed after the show. Yeah. It's like you don't get to see landmarks or everything. It's like you're there to work, and that's tiresome.
Yes.
Then you got all that adrenaline. The guys have all that adrenaline after the show. Then they lay down and they're just staring at the ceiling, like, man, I can't settle down. It's just like just getting out of a basketball game. You're pumped up for a couple hours after that. So, yeah, and I think it's a learning process for us. Me, I've done it a little bit more than they have, but it's even just we're going to get out there, man. And like, if you've looked at the shows, oh my God, we're playing basically every major show. Shout out, head tip to Cannon Video. Dude's amazing. And it's putting us out there, getting us paid well. Blessed, man, and honored. It's crazy.
Tim, let's talk about that, man. You guys got some, top shows this 26 year coming up. Tell us what you can about 26.
Yeah, man. So 26 is the Creekers. What we've done thus far is not a national touring band. What we've done this far has been a local, still regional touring band. Every once in a while you go out of state, but you're playing mostly Kentucky shows. So when this thing started, man, when it hit, you can imagine the emails. Everybody in Kentucky wanted us to play. Cannon's like, listen, I'm not gonna mess with any of that unless a radius clause bothers it. So a radius clause is like we've announced Railbird already. Railbird will have a huge radius clause. Like they'll say, you can't play 30 days prior, 30 days after, or something like that. Some of the big ones like Texas is like you can't play 60 days prior or 60 days after. We own you for that amount. We're going to pay you this much, good check, but you can't play anywhere else until this is over, or else it sells out. If it sells out, then carry on. It don't matter anymore. Okay. And it's not a bad thing. Like some people hate it, but it's something that they have to do to protect themselves also. If they're going to put this much money out for all these bands and spend millions of dollars on a lineup, they want to make sure they sell out and make money on it. Understood. I don't put radius clauses on. I might say, just don't play in London the next day or something. Help me. I don't, Louisville's fine. But, dude, start in January. I mean, New Year's Eve at the Ryman with Oak Crow Medicine Show. It's like bucket list. January, we're in West Virginia there with one of our buddies opening Jack Wharf band that we love. That kid, man, he's amazing. Old bluegrass history background. There's some stuff not announced in February. 4 straight dates at a certain place. It's going to blow. It's going to be crazy. Tanner's even wrote half a song about it. We're starting to get the March stuff coming in. So kind of how these agents do, they'll work backwards. They'll work from December all the way back into January. So, but the Two-Step In Festival in Texas, huge. Stapleton, Red Clay Strays, us, everybody. Freaking Goo Goo Dolls, like that one's already sold out, I think, on that Sunday.
Yeah, we tried to get tickets. Me and my wife tried to get tickets, and it's sold out.
Yeah, so we just holler and we'll see if we can get you on a comp list or something. And then, we go 2 days after that one to like one that ain't been announced though, like in Stevensville, Texas. There's so much ain't been announced, but now Merle Fest been a bucket list for me forever. I always wanted to go. That's on the lineup. It's crazy lineup. Dale Fest with Dale McCurry and the McCurrys just announced this morning. The mountains of Maryland, the most beautiful landscape in Maryland, in my opinion, playing there. Railbird, dude. Kentucky, like the ultimate Railbird. Yeah. Another big Kentucky one that ain't been announced. There's another one going to be announced in December. I just got sent the lineup this morning in Kentucky. I've said Manchester Music Fest. I'm putting it out there. We ain't made the flyer, but they're going to be here. And then just looking at me like there's 12 big ones with somebody that I can't announce yet. It's freaking massive. Like maybe the most massive thing we've ever done. Then I got this morning at 7:30, I got another massive one. And then a week ago to today, maybe 2 weeks. Time's flying right now, but I got one, Kenneth, that they called just to see my reaction. And besides the Ryman, it was the only one that like it shook me. It's like I didn't cry. I kind of got emotional at the Ryman, but I was driving to work that morning and I stopped there at a red light. And man, I had chills all over my body. I don't even play in the band, right? I don't play an instrument. I don't sing. I'm not even in the world that them guys are in. But I'm also in that their business world, right? It's like I'm the protector, and like it just fell all over me, man, just like a sickness. Like there ain't no way that we just got this opportunity and this offer. Now it ain't been scheduled yet. We don't know when it's going to happen, but it's one of those that, man, it was like this is stupid. So yeah, I mean, I know I'm missing some, like Cole Wetzel, which is a big deal up in Texas, opening for him at the West Virginia State Fair. And we got all these shows like, what am I missing that I need to put out? But there's just so many of these big shows that I can't even name, and that's crazy. I could have told you last year, like we would love to play one of those. Yeah. We would beg you. We were begging people like these guys played right here at Pat's Bar forever. Like we were begging that if 60 to 70 people showed up, it was crazy. We was like, yeah, we're going to do it. And now we're seeing thousands. And I knew it, man. Like Warner Music was there, our lawyer was there. And the time that I really knew it, like I knew it for sure, is Masters Musician Festival this year. We were at the second stage, headlining. And somebody else was up on the main stage. Sure, they were great. But, dude, when that set was about to start, they were running, Kenneth. Not exaggerating. People was running because it's kind of got a hill. From the main stage is here, and it goes over a hill, and then got the other stage. It's like here. They were running to see the Creekers.
Man.
And my lawyer's sitting there with me, and I was like, what the hell? Like, I was like, is there people evacuating? And he's like, I think they're here to watch you all. And they just started singing all the words back. And I knew, and it was it's like an hour set, 45-minute set. And it just blew that place went nuts. And I'm like, man, I think this got, already Warner's there, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, this thing has a chance. Like, this thing has a chance to not just sell out shows in Kentucky, to sell out shows in Georgia and Alabama and Texas.
Yeah.
Like, that's when you really know, like, we're probably 40 tickets away from selling out Georgia right now.
Man.
We're probably 100 tickets away from selling out Asheville. Now, those shows are still a month away. Right. So then that was a proving point to us. I was like, Kanan's like, hey, let me get you out on the road a little bit before Christmas. Let's see how you do in these markets. And he's like, dude, you're going to sell these markets out. This is freaking phenomenal. When you can move 300 tickets in North Carolina, that ain't our market.
Yeah.
But it's starting to become our market. Like, everywhere's starting to become our market.
Well,
it's crazy.
I just thought something. I said to him, like, I was in Memphis, Tennessee at Ducks Unlimited convention. I don't know, 30, 40,000 people there over the weekend. It was back in August or July, early August, July. And I had just did something with Tanner, maybe the podcast, or I think it'd come out. And I buy some stuff out of these guys in North Carolina. They had a big booth over there, and my booth was on the other side of the floor. And they texted me and they said, man, we just realized that they come over and said that some of those guys are the Creekers. And so I went. No, it's Shane. Shane said he'd watched these guys post videos at Ducks Unlimited on TikTok or something, was playing Creeker music. So anyway, I knew the guys. Actually, Kent Jones is a guy I buy my hats and stuff from and they're in North Carolina, South Carolina. Anyway, those guys, I went over there to their booth. They had a turtle box playing Creekers music, and I said, hey, here's the Creekers, I know these guys or something. And man, it was like people there in Memphis, Tennessee from North Carolina playing Creekers music at a huge convention. But it's just, and I know you hear that stuff 100 times a day, but for me, it was like, I'm way out here in West Texas. I'm about So for me, that was a big eye opener. I was like, wow, man. Hey, it's Kenneth Witt with the Gun Dog Nation podcast, and we are so proud to be partnered with the National Shoot to Retrieve Association, also known as NASTRA. NASTRA has a common love for producing the best bird dogs possible. It's a great community that builds and bonds everlasting friendships. I've actually got to meet a lot of the NASTRA members who's taken me hunting and some other grouse hunting and stuff in different places. So I can honestly say I'm a member, and I'm proud to be partnered with them. NASTRA hosts national and regional field trials that emphasize the working ability of bird dogs. They have been around for over 50 years. There's a reason that NASTRA has been around that long. Please check them out at www.nstra.org and belong and support your local NASTRA club. They do have national and regional events, and it's a good place to help learn to be a better dog trainer, a better dog owner, and to compete with your bird dog. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a weird. I'll tell you what is weird, and me and you can go around Eastern Kentucky. Like, I remember one time when my son Maverick, he was younger, and I'm the tourism guy here, right? And I'm the festival guy. So in a small town, everybody knows everybody. You know who cut you meat at the IGA by, ever. Yeah. But I remember Maverick once saying, Daddy, are you famous? And I said, no, I'm familiar. There's a difference. There is a difference because we're all right, Bristol, Tennessee. We play this private show and we go to the casino. And then the next day we're going to do some shopping. I needed some bibs. The boys needed some boots. And anyway, we got Bristol Rhythm and Roots too. That's I don't know. Maybe you should edit that. I don't know if they announced it yet or not, but okay. they didn't. But anyway, we're in Bristol, Tennessee, and we're at this like cowboy place, boot store. It's got hats, and so I buy some bibs, and these two young girls are in there, and they're like, "Oh my God, you guys kind of look like, is that the Creekers?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's them." And they're like, "Oh my God, can we go outside and do a TikTok?" It was like, okay, yeah. And so they give us high five for stuff, so we're going to do a TikTok. So we go outside, and here comes a dude in an air conditioning truck. It's got like so and so's AC on the side, and he's like, "Oh my God, the Creekers." And then we're like, yeah, and he's like, woo, all right, raise hell, boys, let's go. And he just drives off. And like Tanner said, man, that's weird. And I'm like, get ready. Yeah. Get ready. Now it's like all these musicians and all these people's in Nashville, but like we can kind of go to a place down there now. And they'll be like, hey, I think I know you. And I think that's something they're going to have to really get used to. It ain't going to hit me, but like they're going to have to get used to when they go to their locals. I'll never forget when Tanner first said, he said some name, and I laughed. And he said, "Now, hell, I just couldn't even. I had to take a picture with so and so and so's boy down there at Save a Lot. I couldn't even get out there, and I just had 2 items." And I said, "Tanner, when you're taking pictures at the Save a Lot, bub, and the dollar store, and the flea market, you're starting to get there." And they've got to deal with that. And to be real, it's a grateful thing to have that everybody knows your name, knows what you look like. It's also a rough thing to have sometimes.
Yeah.
If you're trying to eat with your family, or you're trying to have some private time, or you're just trying to go get a turkey from the Save a Lot, sometimes you just want to be left alone. And but they've done a good job. Here's the one thing I'll say about those guys. And I don't know if every show they've done since this thing's happened, and at their merch line, even if they're out of merch, they have stayed sometimes over 2 hours and took a picture and signed something for every single person that stood there.
Yeah.
Every time. Now, if there's going to be shows that if there's thousands of people, I don't know how they do it, and there's already been thousands, but I'm just talking about the line that's after the show. They have stayed and stood on their feet, took pictures, signed, and I think that's a great way to show your fans you care. Like if you're going to come out here and support us and be in the heat or in the weather, hey, we're going to give it right back to you. And I'm grateful that those guys do that. I think it's important that they do it.
I do too. I love that.
Yeah. Because you don't really get that all the time. Some people just get off stage and you talk to their band, but you don't see them. Tanner and Allen could do that. They don't want to do that. They want to be a part. They're normal folks. Yeah. Until a video went viral, they was doing the same thing the rest of us did. They was working. Yeah. You and horses, working in factories, working for a state park. I mean, normal dudes, man.
I tell you, it's I'm fortunate sometimes I get people on here, Tim, that started with a business idea and then become really successful with it, started from nothing, just had a dream. I've had a couple, of course, members from the Creeks on here, had Mo Pitney on here, supposed to get Trey Hensley on here, hopefully here in the next few weeks.
Oh, my God, yeah. Trey and these boys, man. Name dropped me with Trey. That's my dog.
Man, he's not even human. Actually, Shane Harrod said it best. He's an alien.
Yeah, he either is an alien or he sold his soul.
Yeah,
way back.
But he messaged me back and said he's trying to work it out. But my point is this: I love to see people follow their dreams and be successful. Man, it's the American dream, and it's so good seeing these boys come from just normal beginnings, all y'all, to we're going to see you on award shows. We're going to see you on major television shows. You, those boys, we're going to see all that, and it's coming. And I've been saying it for a year. I've said it. I do a little commercial on this show, every show, about the Creekers, and I've not changed it. I said you all will know who they are a year from now, and it's happening. I'm so happy for y'all. I really can't contain myself, man. I mean. You deserve it. You deserve it, Tim. They deserve it. Couldn't happen to better folks.
Well, Kenneth, I appreciate you. I remember the name from back in the day. In Leslie County and the judge, and then Shane started bringing. Shane started talking to you. And Shane, I want to give Shane a shout out. I laugh at Shane probably more than I do anybody in my everyday life. He gives me all these numbers on social media. I don't even have Twitter. I didn't even have TikTok till this happened. Tanner called me and said, "Hey man, we're viral." And I said, "Well, they make stuff for that." But me and Johnny Lynn's emails was blasted. And I knew something was going on. But like Shane will call me and say, "Do you know so and so and so and so? They had so many streams." And I'm like, "Shane, I don't even live that world, bro." Yeah. But he knows. Like I don't know how he does it and does his job. Like he knows. It's amazing. So shout out to Shane. And I want to give you a shout out. You have promoted, you've helped. Dude, I could name drop so many people. Like I just mentioned Master Musician. If it weren't for Tiffany Finley giving them a chance to play on that stage, we got the Bell Theater show sold out in an hour. John Grace has put him on his stage, right? He's another promoter. Tiffany's promoter, just like me, just like John. Jessica Blankenship down at the Kentucky Music Hall of Fame. She put them at their album release party for Pour Me in a Creek was in that little field at the Kentucky Music Hall of Fame with 85 people there. And we thought it was the greatest thing ever. 85 people. Like, man, this place is crowded. There's some people from Alabama showed up. We thought that was awesome. Like, we just thought, man, people come from Alabama to see us.
Yeah.
And that was, and then like the guys that did the album, Fat Sam did that album, dude. We didn't have no money. I think the album cost $1,100. People like then they won the Sam Jam. Sammy Carr, they won his competition. Actually, just give it to him to get the free EP at Bonfire Studios for River Rat that Steve Wilson tracked. Yeah. So now we're about to go in the studio in December and do it. We got a new album coming. It's coming. It'll probably be March. Who knows? Now things take some time.
Yeah.
And they want us to meet all these guys. I mean, we were in talks with Dave Cobb. It's won 10 Grammys. I've got the dude's number in my phone. Blows my mind. But those guys for $1,100 and one Airbnb, we put out 18 songs in a year.
It's amazing. Yeah.
And one of them went viral.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know any other band that's done that.
I don't.
Because, and then you know why? We didn't have the money to go to these people and cut big $5,000-$10,000 albums. And us, that was a lot of money. Now, when a guy like Dave Cobb is saying, we can do this for $150K, we're like, what? This was for free and went viral. So it's different. Like, as much as I want to work with Dave Cobb, we may someday. We want to help the people that got us there, man.
Yeah.
We want to help those people. Like, that's why I name dropped all these promoters, all these folks, these people at the Ponderosa Pines. We had a Halloween party up here, and the guys couldn't be there. All I heard that night is, we're so proud. We want them to make. We want. And I'm like, I got home and I said, you don't know how overwhelming. I couldn't really enjoy some of my time for everybody just wanting it so bad for the guys and the lady. They want it. These people in the mountains want it for these guys.
Yes, they do.
And people like you want it, and people like Sammy Carr wants it, John Grace and Tiffany and Jessica, like those people have all been a huge part. And even though we can't call them every day and thank them, or like, we are always going to try to take care of the people that took care of us. The video we did with B. Taylor, that Tiffany manages B, we're going to do those with Rye Davis. We're going to do those with Nicholas Jamerson. We're going to do those with Emily. We're going to try to let those people, our fan base, become their fan base. Because this is the Eastern Kentucky pocket. We need to take care of our people here.
That's right.
So when we get a chance, man, look, Dean Osborne at that show at Hyden. I was in a conference in Louisville, so I couldn't be there. But there's 1,400 people in Leslie County High School.
Yeah.
Like, that don't happen where we live.
No.
And man, no alcohol. No alcohol there. 1,400 people showed up. Oh, my God.
It's funny. Like, I know it hadn't hit everybody, even you guys. Like, something just hit me right then. I got a duck hunt scheduled that I was trying to get people that listen to the podcast to go to anyway, whatever. Well, Todd Tanner's dad asked me about it. And I said, man, won't you go that hunt with me? He couldn't go pheasant hunt with me this year. He's wanted to go every year. So I sent him the information on that duck hunt. And he was like, hey, buddy, that's $2,300 or something other. I said, son, Tanner's going to be rich. I said, you and Tanner's going to be on the MTV Cribs. He said, I ain't spending that much money to go duck hunting. But,
hey, listen, Alan Hacker's the tight one in the band. I don't know if Alan Hacker spent the first dollar. And I love it about Alan. He's savvy. Then you got Tanner right now. He ain't killed a deer yet. It's rifle season. He's already said, hell with these shows in November next year, boys. I've got to kill a deer. And I'm like, Tanner, you can't say the hell with the shows. Like, you've got to play some shows. But we give you two. Like, dude, we turned down a show for deer. Deer season's important to these guys. We get it. Jagger got him one yesterday. But we turned down a massive, massive show that in my eyes, we probably needed. But then I had to put instead of being a manager, the guy and I had to put in like the school teacher, the nurturers, like, it's an important show. They realize it's an important show, but we've had these dates blocked. And we had to tell the label and that people, and they like, man, we just can't do this one. Like, this is one that they've had blocked for months. It's a great opportunity, and we're privileged and honored, but sometimes you got to have those times off.
Yeah, man. I mean,
Tanner's blue as a fish hook right now. He ain't killed a deer. He made a big post. He's laying in there all day. And he'll be blue and hateful till he kills one. Now, when he kills one, we'll all know about it for a day or two.
I reckon next month, I don't know when, but I think Jagger's going to come out here at my ranch and hunt. Purina Pro Plan. Here at Gundog Nation, we use Purina Pro Plan for our dogs. We actually use the Sport Performance Edition, which is 30% protein and 20% fat, the beef and bison. It contains glucosamine, omega-3s for their joints. It also contains amino acids for muscles and antioxidants. And it also has probiotics. It's guaranteed to have live probiotics in each serving. There's no artificial colors or flavors. We see the difference in our dogs. We see the difference in their coat, their performance, their endurance, and also in recovery. Be sure to use Purina Pro Plan dog food. The reputation speaks for itself. There's a reason that Purina has been around for such a long time. We suggest that you use it, and we are so proud to be sponsored by Purina Dog Food. When you're getting ready to go on your next hunting trip, make sure you pack the most efficient and reliable ammunition on the market. Migra Ammunition brings you the most diverse loads on the market. Migra's patented stacked load technology is the epitome of efficiency. 2 shot sizes stacked together to create the most diverse and efficient line of shot shells in the industry. It doesn't matter what flyway, what state, or what the weather, the standard remains the same. At Migra, reliable loads that perform in any condition every single time. We're proud to have Migra Ammunition as a sponsor for Gundog Nation.
Jagger, man, listen, we met this kid in Florida. He's a big act, Dylan Marlowe. Big country act, man. Makes a lot of money. But, I say kid because I'm 43 years old. This guy's 20s, kind of like our boys, right? And him and Jagger and Tanner hit it off immediately. And they're sitting there, and this guy, he's going on like these big elk hunts and going everywhere. Jagger, I can see his eyes getting big. Like, oh, shit, there's a world out there I want to get into. Yeah. And it's a hard dynamic to judge that. Look, the Kentucky shows. I booked them. Everything, somebody would come in with decent money. I put them all around Kentucky, and Cannon let us do it because I knew 2026, you're going to get 5 shows with all the radiuses. Yeah. And there are 5 good ones. But I knew, let's let the people here see them if we can see them. The Barberville show, the Wolf Fest show, and all over Kentucky, the Bell Theater, the 2 nights at the Burl. Those are important because we're not going to be here as much. And it's a good time to let everybody, before it gets out on the national tour, to let everybody still see it as a regional show. Yeah. And I'm proud of that. And then there's some hard ones man, I get so many messages about fundraisers or charities, and man, I'm all for charity. I just bid and want to trip on a houseboat at Lake Cumberland at my last conference for charity. I believe in that, but you can't do them all. And once you do one, you expect to do the other one. So we're trying to find that fine line with our team. Man, which charities? We want to help. We just did the fishing with the musician. The Candidate, you may have seen that. That went for $3,000 or something. Okay. Well, somebody won that bid. I don't know who it is yet. And we're going to take them out to Lake Cumberland. We're going to fish with them. I've got a buddy that's going to take them out on his fishing boat. Another buddy's going to take them out on the pontoon. We're going to sit on the houseboat. We're going to make some deer meat, some steaks. And whoever that group is that comes and fishes with us, we're going to have a big time and show them. And that charity went, I think they raised $40-some thousand to go to these schools and give underprivileged kids instruments.
Oh, wow. Okay.
To start with the arts. And that's something that we all believe in. Tanner Horton's been playing that guitar since, 6, 7? Anna's been playing since a young age. Scott's been playing since he can remember, I guess. Yeah. It's important to get these young people to get an instrument in their hand that may not be able to afford it. And that was the whole concept of Manchester Music Fest. People always ask me, Tim, why is it free? And I'm like, man, for 3 days, the poorest kid in town can stand beside the richest kid in town and see the same show. Amen. That I know they're not going to be able to go to the Knoxville Theater or Nashville or Louisville or wherever. They just don't have the funds. Hotels are expensive. Concert tickets are expensive.
Outrageous.
Groceries are expensive. But for 3 days in this little town, Manchester, you can stand side by side and all be the same.
That's right.
And I'm passionate about that. I want people to come here. I want them to come see the Creekers next year, and I want them to come see all the other acts. It's going to be a great lineup, and just experience what music does for us. We've had one arrest in 6 or 7 years out there at that festival. Nobody gets out of
Wow.
whack because music actually shares a lot of love
Yeah.
if it's done right. When you listen to these guys' songs, it's a loving thing.
Yeah.
It's
You don't
about
go
where they're
fight and kill
from.
somebody. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the song about hiding, or even Tennessee. Alan, the whole song, I don't even know if people even know what Tennessee's about. It's about, hey, man, we've been gigging, we've been out on the road. I can't wait to get back home to her. I'm getting back home to Bree. That's what the song's wrote
Yeah.
about, 50 miles left to go. I'm
Yeah.
going to be home finally because you've been out there working. And until you've done it, you can't speak on it.
That's right.
Right. Until you train dogs like you do, you can't speak on training dogs. I can't train a dog. It'd take me forever. Like you guys, like you have a natural ability to be great at your craft with the work and passion you put into it. Same way with tourism. People don't understand tourism. It's not community events, which we do a lot of. It's how many heads and beds can I put in Manchester? How many asses and spaces can I put here? How many people can eat at our restaurants, go to our local community, spend money, and make that economic development? For every dollar spent on the acts at Manchester Music Fest, and we've done this, for every offer I just got an email that said we got a new offer. So, and these come in nonstop. I just seen it. It looks like a good one. I'll look at it later. But for every dollar spent on what we pay for that show, our tourism board, $12 are made in this economy.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good standard, man.
That's not just tourism. That's economic development. That's
Right.
Giving back. Well, Tim, man, your passion for the Creekers and your passion for what you do is kind of infectious. I'm sitting here excited, man, to listen to you, and just I get excited for you. It's now I see your success and I see their success. I knew what made them successful, but now I see the other component that I didn't see, and that's you behind the scenes, man. That's you deserve a lot of credit, and I know you don't take it, but I'm giving it to you. You deserve a lot of credit. It's well, man.
Well, thank you.
I want to. You're going to get real. I believe I'm lucky now because I got a feeling a year from now I'll never be able to get you on here. So
no, man, I'll always talk. I think
yeah.
people need to see the side of that's just not music. That's the inner goings behind what the music is. And it's not easy. The hardest, like booking a show. So let's say you do a show. We got so much stuff coming up. Like when I tell you, oh my God, wait till you hear this. And then we have a time period where we can say it and we can't say it and we got all this. There's so much. There's so much that I'd love to tell my buddies. And I've learned to just say, God, and wait till the world hears about this. And and then it's just like booking a show. People think, all right, the show just don't happen. And you show up and say, here's the stage. It's booking the stage, it's booking the sound, it's getting your people to help. It's the logistics, right? It's the parking. It takes a year to do these things.
Yeah.
The best thing, man, is like we've got this business manager. Most people in the music industry don't know what that is. When you make more money, you have more taxes. He handles a lot of that, right? With Tanner's wife, Johnny Lynn, she handles a lot of that with that. Johnny Lynn needs some credit. Alan's family, Mel, Shane, Bree, Morgan and Barb with Jagger and Ashton, Charlie with Anna. Man, everybody, and if I'm leaving somebody out, I'll apologize, but Todd Horton, everybody in that circle, man, Tanner's mom flew down to Florida for that show.
Yep.
Like all these people are there to help. And, it's finding that, Mel and Lawrence and Shane, they drove all around this world with that one. You know what I mean? Like they're top-notch people, and they want to see it happen as much as the boys want to see it happen, right? They're in this thing. Everybody is head, as we'd say, they're neck deep in it. They've dove off that diving board neck first, man. They're in it. And you can't just half-ass do it. You can't say, well, we think we want to do it. Like you're either going to do it or you ain't going to do it. And we're in it. We're doing it. And it comes with the tax. You're tired. You're gone a lot. You're wearing vehicles out. You're having to pay lawyers and business managers and agents, and you're having to pay all that. Look, my first check with the Creekers will come whenever I see Tanner again. I've never took $1
Yeah,
ever from the Creekers.
and that's something. And you
Well,
work.
I told him, I
You
said,
work yourself.
whenever you play the Ryman of the Grand Ole Opry or something like that, I'll take a paycheck.
Yeah.
And I'll get my first check for October. I haven't seen Tanner in a week or so, ever since he's been up here at the photo shoot, which will be coming out soon. That'll be killer. And I still feel somewhat guilty because I just seen it, man. And everybody'd seen it. Everybody had seen Alan Hacker sing for years. Like, they knew it. And I always tell Alan, there's a million people at church that sing good. There's a million people at church that play a guitar. But there ain't a lot of people can write these songs like you boys are writing them, and then putting a band together and making those arrangements. We've got churches here in Eastern Kentucky blow your mind with people singing and picking.
I tell people that all the time, Tim. I tell people out here, I said, I can take you in any church in the holler in Leslie County and let you hear better talent you're going to hear on Broadway in Nashville.
That's exactly right, Kenneth. And like when you walk in there and you hear these people start singing, you're like, man, why ain't they?
Yeah.
But the songwriting is the next level.
Yeah, it is.
And dude, these guys have got about 14 songs. We're hoping to put 12 on the album. And that's another thing. We've got to go down. We'll be doing that in Nashville. Go down there.
Yeah.
We won't do it for a week. It's too much to be away from our families. We'll go for 3 days, come back home, go back, in 2-3 weeks for 3 days, then go back for a couple of days. You got to think, in 3 days for $1,100, we did 18 songs.
It blows me away, man.
We don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah. But that shows you what, being a very amateur musician myself, they just did a raw, basic recording, no fancy stuff, no studio musicians, and look at what it did. That's unbelievable.
I want to say, too, back to what we've been preaching, it shows the heart of Eastern Kentucky and the power of the Appalachian people. And we've always had less. Let's be real. But we can make more out of less than a lot of folks can. Yeah. We still look. I can look over here in this freezer and pull you 25 bags of sweet corn out. Right? We got 40 cans of green beans in here. Like that is like the Eastern Kentucky tradition that we'll always do.
Yeah.
We don't. Tanner ain't hunting a deer right now just to kill big deer. Tanner's going to eat that deer. He's going to take every piece of it. If he kills another one, he'll give it to somebody. Like they're going to use everything that we have because we've had to use every piece. If we raise chickens, you'd save the claws and you'd save a lot of stuff to make broth out of it.
Yeah.
That's just how our moms and our grandparents, and for us to be able to continue that, where I'm worried about the younger generation. I let my kids help me plant the garden, and we have a small garden. But that's passing that on to that next generation. Yeah. And what we hope now is when I made a post of my basketball team on the school bus singing Tennessee. You may have seen it's beautiful.
Yeah, yes.
And those kids are 5th grade through 8th grade. So you got to think those kids will buy Creekers tickets for generations.
Yeah.
They're going to be fans. They're just not going to stop liking them. They're going to love them all the way up to until they don't do it anymore.
That's right.
And I'm so proud of that because it puts Eastern Kentucky in the limelight. And it's a whole different world, dealing with all the people we got to deal with now. But it's still, when you simplify it, everybody's still people. People's trying to make money. People's trying to do things for a living. And so are we. And now we have, even though we're a family and we love each other, we do have a business now. Yeah. And that's the hard part of it, when business and family has to meet. And then that's my job. And it's also my job to say, hey, I don't know everything about this. And I've asked for help for a lot of people. We've got something probably coming up that'll be a big announcement where I've said, hey, for me and my well-being and my day job and my family, I need a little help. I need help with these guys. But I'm not going to seek out help if it's somebody they don't trust and I don't trust. Yeah. It's got to be somebody that fits our family and understands who we are. I'm never going to go to work for one of these people, but I will work with one of these people. I'll do my job along with that. We're not afraid of work. Work ain't what we're afraid of. We're really ain't afraid of anything. We just want to make sure we don't neglect our families. Yeah. And man, Kanan's done a good job with navigating that with me. Warner's done a good job of understanding who we are, what we are. They come up here for this photo shoot, and they're like, "Oh my God, fresh air! This is beautiful." And I'm like, "Welcome to how we live." It's a little slower, a little different, but we're proud of it.
Nice. Well, Tim, I could probably do another 2 hours.
We'll do another one, man. We'll get on another one day.
I've got to run to. I've got to do something else. It's not more important than this. This is more important, if you want my opinion. Big time. Tim, it's been such a privilege getting to see the inside of what all's happened behind the scenes, and I hopefully in your all schedule we can relive and come back and have some follow-up stuff with you when you have time. I know you're going to be real busy next year. Not that you ain't now. But, Tim, tell everybody that's listening how they can find the music, where to go, and how to connect and follow the Creekers.
Yeah, I mean, we're on every streaming platform from Spotify to Apple Music to Amazon, Pandora. XM Radio's playing the Creekers right now, a lot. They're playing on all the local radio stations here around Kentucky. The CreekersBand.com will have their schedule on there. It's just had a revamp. It's about to launch, I think, in a couple of days on the new revamp that we got a new digital team. We're going to give them a shout out. They're doing a great job. TikTok, the Creekers at TikTok. You'll see it on there. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Or you can still send me a message. I'm one of them guys. If you send me a message, it may take 2 days, but I promise you, I'll send you a link to something. I won't let it go. And just here's the thing, man. We're grateful. We're blessed. We're all humbled by the opportunity. We are going to try to make our people here in the mountains proud. And then we're also going to try to make the world understand how blessed we are. And we're going to put on the greatest shows. We're going to have the most fun times. And we're going to always remember guys like Kenneth Witt. That puts everybody on this band on the. There's a reason that people's on your podcast, Ken, because they see your passion too. And they see how much you've pushed and promoted. Like, everybody don't do that. Some people get jealous. Some people say, why ain't it me? I can't control that. The boys can't control that. We've seen a couple local artists that we thought we was friends with. They're like, why them? I don't know. That's a God thing, right? I do know that they have paid a lot of dues. They have worked. They've, even though the band has been a short amount of time as individuals, they've all, Anna's played with Colder Wall, with Evanescence, with Three Doors Down. Like she did 265 shows one year with Colder Wall, man. If that ain't paying your dues,
yeah,
I don't know what is. So
that's right.
We're going to pay, and we're still paying our dues. It ain't like we're headlining stadiums, but the goal is to one day headline a stadium.
That's
It'd
right.
be cool to see a group from Hyden, Kentucky, and our group all be at Rupp Arena, just like Childers or Sturgill, and for us to do a show like that. That's the dream. But we're content with where we're at. We're content with getting bigger, or we're content with just keep doing it. We're just living the moment and taking it in. And very, very much appreciative of you, Kenneth. And anytime we'll get a chance. And thanks. Those are the coolest freaking hats. So if you designed them or whoever designed them, thanks so much for the hats. Yeah, because the first one I worked every festival in it. And, buddy, when I put it on, it smelled like an old shoe. I couldn't even wear it no more. I was like, and I've washed it twice, and you sent the other one, and I've wore it. And I've had more people say, man, where'd you get that hat? I'm like, man, I know somebody.
Well, hey, man, thank you all for wearing my hats. I love that, and I'll send them to you as long as you need them, man.
All right, man. Awesome.
I designed them from top to bottom.
Oh, those are awesome, man. The camo and how it pops with the white, I love that. Yeah. The flashy label on there, yeah, that's killer, man.
Well, thank you. Tim, man, thank you so much. I will continue spreading the gospel of the Creekers to everybody I get a chance to, and it's enjoy the moments because you guys ain't seen nothing yet, and that's my opinion.
All right. Well, we hope so.
All right, Tim. Thank you so much. I will hopefully get to see you in person here pretty soon.
Yeah, man. Hit me up about Texas. We'll see if we can help you.
All right. Hey, thank you.
Thanks, Kenneth.
Hello, this is Kenneth Witt with Gundog Nation, and I'd like to encourage all you listeners and viewers on our YouTube channel to check out patreon.com Gundog Nation. For $10 a month, you can become a member of our community, and we'll have access to lots of stuff. Mainly, we'll do a monthly forum, an open forum where you can ask me anything Gundog related, and we'll learn from each other in the community. Should be a lot of fun each month. We will do that. So check it out, patreon.com/Gundog Nation.